What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. I thought it'd be a really fun opportunity for me today to take you all around, show you everything that's happening in the garden because we have so much stuff going on. There's stuff that is just getting ready to be harvested, stuff that is in transition, stuff that we just planted for the fall. And so I wanted to kind of do a kind of a mid to late summer update on where our garden's at right now. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. Let's go. All right, so the first thing I want to kind of showcase here are the carrots. Now, you guys know that we've been enjoying from these for about the past 2 months now, and they are absolutely insane. These carrots in here are the largest carrots that I have ever grown. These are the Danvers 126. Look at the size on that sucker. These things are absolutely beautiful. And so we've been adding these to our meals throughout the past couple months, and they are awesome. So they are looking great. They are kind of winding down. We're starting to get through the carrots finally, but we're gonna get some of those and take them inside for dinner tonight. So come over here, check out the beets. That's the other thing that I want to show you guys because they're looking insane too. All right, so check these beets out. These things are incredible. In fact, these are some of the largest beets I think I've ever grown. Look, if you look in here, these things are, these are absolutely huge. Look at the size of those beets. Absolutely incredible. They're gonna end up on our dinner table tonight. Look at that. So beautiful. And the crazy thing, a lot of people ask me once they get this large if they get kind of woody or tough. And the answer is no, they don't. They really don't get that woody or that tough. Now, I've saved the best for last. Check this one out. Now, if you didn't see it growing in our garden, you would have thought that this thing was fake. This thing is huge. Look at how big this beet is. This is the largest beet I have ever grown. There are other beets that exist that are a lot larger, but these are like Detroit dark red beets. They should not normally get this large, but these are organically grown right here in our garden with just compost and trifecta. So I am loving these beets. They do make, like I said, other kind of giant beets, but as far as the Detroit dark red goes, kind of pushing the limit for what you can get. Incredible. That's beautiful. All right, now check out these zucchinis. These are the golden zucchinis. We also have some black beauty back here. They have just been producing and growing like crazy this year. Absolutely incredible. These are some of the healthiest zucchini plants I've really grown in, I'd say, probably 4 or 5 years. It's been a long time since I've seen this healthy of plants this late into the season. These things are just super, super healthy. And again, I can attribute that to compost and trifecta. The leaves are super glossy, super shiny, very healthy, and no signs of powdery mildew, even with all the rain we've been having. So really, really happy with these. We also have a fall planting. Check out the fall planting, because these, we just harvested from here, so there's only a couple small little zucchinis on here that I could probably grab this one for dinner, but we've been harvesting zucchinis about this size or even a little bit larger than this almost every single week for basically the past 2 months, which is awesome. So check out the fall planting of zucchini. I think you're gonna love it. All right, and this is our fall planting of zucchinis. Now, these are all basically one variety. These are the black beauty zucchinis, one of our favorite varieties of zucchini to grow in our garden. And we have 5 plants right here, and they're doing incredible. Now, a lot of you have asked me online if we're gonna actually get a harvest from these because it does seem like we planted them kind of late. However, believe it or not, we actually have planted even later than we did this year. The latest we've ever planted and actually gotten a harvest was September 5th. So we planted these, I think, in about mid-August or so. And so they're doing great. We do have a few kind of cucumber beetles and stuff on our plants, but the nice thing with planting this late into the season is the squash bugs, they're out of here. So basically all we really have to compete with is powdery mildew. And so far the plants are looking great. All right, now these 2 beds are really exciting. We had here our onion bed. The onions have since been pulled up and harvested. That was awesome. We did leave in our bunching onions though, our Tokyo long bunching onions. We grow them every single year and they self-seed. So there's a ton more volunteers growing up there. Our spot where we had our onions is actually gonna be transitioned out into lettuce. We're gonna be planting a fall harvest of lettuce there. Not quite ready for that yet, still a little too warm. We do have some peas we planted for fall, as well as some pole beans. Now, the only problem is the pole beans are taking a beating from the rabbits in the neighborhood that never give them a break. As soon as they grow up a couple inches, they're gone. So those are getting kind of munched on. But then we also have this bed over here. We have our Swiss chard, and we also put some chicken wire up to kind of protect it. We have our okra, which is looking amazing. Really happy with our okra. And we also have a fall harvest, or a fall planting of some cucumbers. So much like the zucchini, we should have a fall harvest of cucumbers in, I'd say, probably about 4 to 5 weeks, which is awesome. All right, so this bed is tomato bed number 1 of 2. And this bed has a ton going on in it, and it actually really excites me. Despite the fact that it looks a little bit chaotic, there's a ton that is going on in terms of intercropping here. And I love it because it really just showcases biodiversity at its finest and how there's so many things that are coexisting in this bed. Now, we actually planted some cucumbers along the trellis here. They're our cattle panel trellis. They are kind of on their way out. We have harvested at least probably 30 pounds of cucumbers from our plants. It's been insane. One of our best cucumber years ever, in fact. Then I also have here a Bequinho pepper, and this thing is amazing, so beautiful. Super loaded down with peppers. We also have some more tomatoes coming over here. And then in between, check this out. This is amazing. We have some intercropping of beans, intercropping of some squash, some winter squash, and we also have down at the very end our Egyptian walking onions. And these are really special, so check it out. All right, so check this out. So we got our peppers over there, our tomatoes doing just amazing. These are loaded down, and there's so many on here that we've been harvesting from, but they're looking great. And then now you got under here, this is the butternut squash. This is a variety of squash that's mostly neck, not a lot of seed cavity. Love that. And we also have our bush beans under here. Our bush beans are doing so good. They've been producing like crazy, despite the fact that we've only been getting 3 or 4 per plant. We got 5 or 6 plants in here. It's been enough for a meal almost every single week, which has been awesome. Coming under here, we also have our Egyptian walking onions. Now these are really, really special. A lot of people have never even seen these before. These are super unique in how they grow. Now they grow much like a bunching onion, but they actually produce a flower stalk that actually has what's called bulbules. And these bulbules, when they get heavy enough, will kind of crimp just like this. They'll then fall on the ground, and when they fall on the ground, they'll start regrowing. It is super, super cool how they grow. This one right here is a prime example. Check this out, look at this. So they touch the ground, and they start sending down new roots, just like that. They don't actually produce any seed at all. They're a completely kind of sterile crop that just constantly produces more of these, and then that's how they crawl along the ground, or walk, as the name would imply. So really, really cool. A lot of people don't even know about these. We've done a lot of videos about them in the past, but we're gonna actually be harvesting these and offering them for sale over on our website, MIgardener.com. So go check them out. We have a limited supply of these, and when they're in stock, they go fast. So get yourself some of these. We call them the friendship bread of the garden, because once you have them, you can then grow them and give them away to all your friends and family and neighbors. So super cool crop. All right, so I just picked some Cherokee purple. These are so pretty. Absolutely love these. I want to talk about this bed here. So a lot of you asked me how our lavender bed was doing. It has stopped basically flowering for the season. You got a few flowers here that are kind of late to the party, but for the most part, this bed is pretty much done. We're gonna come in here, clip all this back. We really want to prune this back so that next year it grows more aggressively and healthier. Now, coming over here, we have our squash bed. This is so much squash. I don't know what we're gonna do with all of it, but this thing is just loaded with the butternut squash. There are so many in here. I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 12 to 15 of the butternut squash in this bed alone. So really excited about that. And then coming over here, I want to show you the peppers. This is going to blow your mind, you guys. All right, so this is the pepper bed. These are the Tabascos. This bed is absolutely loaded. I have never seen more peppers in all my life. This is absolutely incredible. These plants are so loaded down. They're not fully ripe yet, so we got to wait for them to ripen up. But when they do ripen, oh my gosh, we're going to be making some homemade Tabasco hot sauce. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that episode. Really excited about it. I know a lot of you have wanted to make your own fermented hot sauce, and so I'm going to be showing you how to do it from start to finish. So these just got to ripen up a little bit. We also have the Chiltepin peppers. These things are loaded as well, and these things are wicked hot. Super, super good flavor, but man, do they pack a punch. Then we have over here, this is the the New Mexico Joe Parker pepper. New Mex Joe Parker, this thing is truly loaded. Like, look at all these peppers. This thing is falling over with peppers. Absolutely insane. We've got ourselves 3 plants, and that's all you need. You know, a lot of people just, they don't understand how much food a garden can produce. And a lot of people think that you need a giant garden to produce a lot of food. Couldn't be further from the truth. In this bed alone, we've probably got, in just peppers, I would say between 15 and 20 pounds of peppers. That's probably more peppers than most people are gonna eat throughout the course of the season. So what we do with a lot of the extras, we give them away to friends and family, or we donate them to our local soup kitchen. That way we can bless others when we have an abundance. Coming over here, we have our serranos. This thing is just absolutely loaded as well. So much going on here. This thing is beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous serrano peppers. I mean, this thing is just loaded. And then finally, we have our jalapenos, and our jalapenos are looking amazing. So nice size. These things are the perfect size. So we're gonna be picking a bunch of these too. And these are great, but loaded, absolutely loaded. Look at that. All right, now here's tomato bed number 2. This thing has so many beefsteaks in it. It is wild. But we also have here some of our paste tomatoes. Now, we've been harvesting these paste tomatoes and making our own pizza sauce with them. And these are beautiful. These are the San Marzanos, one of my favorite paste tomatoes. Now, I do also really like the Federle and the Gilberti, as well as Opolka. You know, I'm not brand loyal to any paste tomato, but I will tell you, there's a certain time and place for a nice San Marzano tomato, and I absolutely love these. But I also got here, I've got some, because these plants are kind of starting to wind down for the season. They're really taking a beating from all the crazy weather we've had. The Rosa de Bern, absolutely beautiful, super pretty. And then I've also got over here, just saw, check this out, look at this. I got some of the giant crimsons. Look at that, beautiful, absolutely pretty as heck. Love these. And then the Jubilee, so pretty. I just love that color, beautiful, beautiful, orangish yellow. And then what you'll notice in between, because we don't want to waste space in our beds, we've got these beets. We've got these beautiful ruby top beets. Look at the color on that, absolutely beautiful. Ruby top beets over here, we use those for beet greens. And those are intercropped all throughout our beds so we can grow more food in less space. All right, now check this out. This thing is one of the largest sage plants I have ever grown in my entire life. This thing is all one giant sage bush, and I'll tell you what, it smells like heaven. This thing is absolutely incredible, and I gotta start drying some. So let me know in the comments box down below some recipes that you make with this sage, because we got a lot of it. All right. Let's check out the blackberries. All right, so check out the blackberries. Actually, before we check out the blackberries, look at the sunflower. This is amazing. This is the Black Russian sunflower. And honestly, this variety gets kind of a bad rep just because it self-seeds so easily that a lot of gardeners don't like it because it becomes a tad bit invasive when it comes to a volunteer basis. But if you don't mind a bunch of volunteer sunflowers, the biggest thing you have to do is just take them down before they go to seed. But they make wonderful roasting sunflower seeds. They also make great bird seed as well, but they are absolutely beautiful, so incredible. I love them for cut flowers because they produce such beautiful sized blooms, but a ton of them per plant. So we got a lot of those. But the real star of the show is this super special blackberry. Now, this blackberry actually started from a seed that a bird dropped. This does not have a name. It's actually something that I kind of need your help with because I want to start cultivating this variety out. It took about 3 years for it to produce fruit. And for the longest time, I had the biggest hunch that it was a blackberry, but I didn't know because it hadn't produced any fruit. And so I basically sat on the 4th year. I said, if it does not produce fruit this year, it's getting taken out. And that was the year that I ultimately ended up getting it to fruit. And since then, it has produced so much fruit that almost every single year since then, we've gotten about a pound or 2 from this plant alone. And this thing is incredible. But it is actually thornless, which is very rare for a blackberry, especially a wild strain of blackberry. But I need some help naming this variety because what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do a whole video about propagating blackberry cuttings. We're gonna be taking some cuttings, propagating it out so we can actually get some, multiply this variety out and hopefully get it into the hands of more people, because this is such a cool, unique variety of blackberry. Absolutely love it. But now I wanna show you all something really cool that happened, and it happened every year, but this year it happened in kind of a weird way. All right, so this is our honeybee hive. Now, for those of you that know and have watched this channel for, I don't know, 5-6 years, you'll know that we had honeybees, and we actually lost the hive in a really cold winter. We left the hive out thinking that because there was still some honeycomb that it might attract some honeybees, and to our amazement, it did. But then we also had a really warm winter, and because of that, they actually used all their food supply and starved, so they died again. Then just last winter, or this past winter I should say, we left it out again, and nothing had moved in until like late July, when all of a sudden, Aiden and Taylor, we were out filming, and Aiden and Taylor were like, there is a massive amount of bees out by that bee box. And sure enough, we had a swarm that moved in basically August. Very, very, very late for swarms to be moving in. But nevertheless, we do have some honeybees here. I'm not gonna mess with them too much right now. They just basically moved in, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. And so I'm letting them kind of get situated. I'm probably gonna have to feed them a little bit to get their honey stores up. So I will probably feed them with a little bit, but they seem pretty healthy. They seem pretty happy, and we'll mess with those in a future episode. But really happy about that. All right, now the final thing I wanted to showcase were our pears. Now these are our pears. They are so loaded down, absolutely beautiful. These are the D'Anjou pear. The D'Anjou pear is this absolutely incredible red, kind of a red sheened pear. Super soft, juicy, and amazing flavor. But then over here we also have, this is the Summer Crisp. This one is done for the season. The Summer Crisp is the first pear to actually ripen. And then we have the star of the show, the Moonglow. Now, I grew up on a Moonglow pear. This thing is huge. These pears are massive. And the pears are so heavy that this tree is like completely falling over. But this pear is one of my favorite pears just for the nostalgic sake. It is a tad bit mealy and a tad bit gritty, but I love it for canned pears. I also love it for making things like pear juice. But I also love it just for the sake that this was a pear tree that I grew up with. And you can actually see videos 8-9 years ago of us canning pears from my uncle's pear tree, which was the Moonglow pear. So that is everything in our garden right now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something new. We're gonna get back to a lot more gardening tutorials and content. So if you wanna join the fun, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger. See ya, bye.